What is going on, everybody? It is the Full Throttle Hog, and we are back with another MotoVlogger Monday. Make sure you guys let me know if you can hear me okay. And we have an additional guest, which is the wife. I have conned her into joining us this evening. She's the brains behind the operation. Chances are there is a high likelihood you have all probably been tagged in a post from the wife this week, who she does a lot of the marketing. She does some filming. She does pretty much everything on the back end to make sure that I can continue to bring out the videos. And I can't thank her enough. So we're totally excited to have her here. You all, as our friends Santee and Sprinkles, are going to be joining us here in just a little bit. But I thought we'd just hang out. There is a couple rules I've been told about, which is that I can't ask her any questions, which means you guys are going to have to ask questions because that wasn't part of the rule. The rule was I couldn't ask questions. So if you have questions for the wife, totally excited for her to be here and joining us. And we're just going to get right into it. Let's see who all's here. DeBeard showed up really early to this show. He was excited to get here. Appreciate you getting here so early. Setzer Pendants is in the house. Smitty Independent Freedom is here. How are you? Dinah Rider, how you doing tonight? IA Hog Rider is here. Ozarks HD Riders, thank you again for coming by. Wit Meza, Wit, are you still in Hawaii right now? Are you joining us from Hawaii, or maybe we should be with you in Hawaii because that sounds like a little bit better. It is gloomy and it is raining. So, David Thompson is here from Spokane Valley, Washington. David, how are you? Knucklets TV, what's happening? He's here. Hello. The Military Biker, how are you, sir? Hopefully all is well on your end. Let's see. Oh, I just jumped a little bit. 9 Mills on 2 wheels is in the house. Sinister Clutch is here. How are you? We have a whole bunch of different things going on throughout this week. Obviously, we had the big announcement, and I do want to get, I don't know, we're live, so let's get a little bit of feedback. What do you guys think about that that little contest? I'm so excited to see some of the submissions. Maybe let me know real quick if you're maybe in pre-production for that. That would be cool. But obviously, if you are just coming into the live stream, the rule is that I can't ask her a question. So you need to make sure you're asking questions for the wife on how she puts up with me and all this madness. What else do we have? Let's go over. Wit says she is in Hawaii, joining us from Hawaii on a vacation and on the live stream. How freaking cool is that? Let's see. So, like I said, Santee and Sprinkles are going to be joining us just a little bit. They also just hit that 1K mark. Super excited for them. And we're just going to kind of make this more about hanging out with you guys and getting you guys more involved in the side chat and also in here. So the wife has been busy helping promote that last little segment. And Throttle Down Under just came in. How are you, sir? Just listening while I work today. Well, we appreciate you. It's almost like a podcast for you, but we have the wife. Hopefully we can get some input from her. I swore by the rule that I would not specifically ask her any questions. So
still having drop bear nightmares.
I'm still having drop bear nightmares. That's right. That is the joke around my house. Thank you very much, Down Under. So I'm pretty sure I have a dropped bear stuffed animal that's going to be in every gift package possible. Some things that are coming up. Super excited. So next month I have a birthday, which I'm going to just get away for a little bit and, just take a couple days, no filming, no nothing. It's going to be in Vegas. So, they say what happens in Vegas stays there. So I can't really bring you guys with me. Next time I go up there, hopefully I'll have the bike and we can do some motorcycle stuff over there. Ooh, what's in the mug? Celebration drink. It's coffee. I'm still on a stupid diet. What's in the water bottle is what I want to know. I know that.
I wish it was a vodka.
So, what else do we have? thank you very much. Appreciate that. We are super excited to have hit that first milestone. They say that one is the hardest, and doing it twice now on 2 different channels, I would have to agree that first 1,000 mark is definitely the toughest. But it's all because of you guys and the wife that helped promote, market, video. Definitely going to be putting her to work this Sturgis trip, so I'll be excited for that. We have another one. Kangawalla fox. That sounds like a very deadly creature right there. I wonder if you were to get a drop bear and a Kangawalla fox, if they battled it out, who would win?
A narwhal.
A narwhal. That's right. Okay. DeBeard's not happy with the coffee. I know. The bottom line is that, with all the travel that we have coming up, it is
be Vegas ready.
Yeah, not only Vegas ready, summer ready, a whole bunch of other different trips going on. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot. Salty and Sprinkles in the side chat, just waiting on the wife from playing kiddo Uber. Well, don't worry, no rush. We've got the wife joining. It'd be great if they can come in and we all could just chat. Again, ask a question for the wife. So hopefully everything goes as far as asking the wife questions, including how she has to put up with me.
Wait, such a Penetra said I'm in focus and you aren't.
He said that you're in focus,
yes,
and that I'm not.
Yes.
So
can you get in focus and me not?
No. You're better looking than I am. That is how I make the money to fund this channel. All right, don't judge me.
Magic Mike style.
Magic Mike style. That's right. So yeah, we got to make sure we both stay in focus. What else do we have? A lot of really, really good videos, guys. I'm super pumped for this contest for the sheer fact that the quality of videos coming out right now are insane, and I want to see exactly who's going to bring what, and just your creativity. It was a really fun video to make. I will tell you that much right now. Going through terabytes among terabytes of video through this past 9.5 months. We were even watching it together a few times and just kind of blown away on how much ground we covered in 9.5 months. So fun video to make, and I definitely am excited. Also curious of everybody that's here, have you ever purchased a suspension system for your motorcycle? And if so, what are you running, or what have you run in the past? And is that something that you look at as far as an upgrade to your bike? Because I will tell you single-handedly, and the wife is probably, well, she's told me she agreed. I can't ask her a question because it's a rule, but the Pro Action suspension system is single-handedly, and I've got a stage 2 on the bike. I've got the bars. I mean, the upgraded seat is probably, that was the first thing we did.
Yeah.
We went on one ride after I bought the Road Glide Special, and that ride, it was immediately ended with that's not happening again until we upgrade that seat. I don't realize it, and maybe you guys don't realize it when you're riding 2 up, but if you get off the bike on a stock seat and just kind of feel the padding on what your passenger is actually dealing with, we immediately upgraded that seat. But the Pro Action suspension system is by far the best upgrade.
It was a game changer for us.
Yeah.
Big, huge upgrade.
Huge upgrade. Let's see. Us Brits are narwhal tusks. Narwhals. That's a unique looking creature. I can tell you that right now. Let's see here. Dino Riders in the house. How you doing tonight? We have, you guys are just coming in a little bit late. I have conned the wife into joining us on this live stream. Super conned. It's going to cost a lot. I got to make sure that I mind my P's and Q's.
And Mother's Day is coming up. Maybe this is planned.
Yes. So happy Mother's Day. You get a chance to be on the live stream for Mother's Day. You know, it's the most thoughtful thing I could bring to the table, and I wanted to share it with you. So
That's not what I mean.
So now that Father's Day is right around the corner, what do we have? Anonymous Biker is here. Hello, how are you?
Don't miss the one above it.
Where's that, Smitty?
Yep.
What's the contest? I've missed it. Ooh, Smitty, you need to, actually, I would appreciate it because I really enjoyed the video. When you're done with the stream, highly encourage you to watch the 1K giveaway video that we put out on Saturday. And I'd be curious to hear just your thoughts on the video itself and then learn more about the contest. It's only 6 minutes. I try to compact it, make it really short. But let me know if you guys that have watched it and understand what's going on. If you have questions about the contest, fire at will, and we'll try to get to them. Anonymous Biker says his came with the Showa. Sinister's running some Legend. Yeah, I mean, you guys that have upgraded, it is one of those things where it's almost like if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and a lot of people don't realize how much that suspension will help you out. So definitely take a look at that. To Beard, thank you very much. This is because of you guys, and because of this one right here. For everybody that are content creators or looking to get into it, I know we've talked about it on the live streams and other videos. You really don't realize how much goes into it in the beginning. And as you're kind of right in the thick of things, it kind of controls and consumes you. And it does take a lot. It takes a lot away from family. Luckily for me, the wife enjoys riding and she likes being out there. And in Sturgis, I pretty much just handed her a camera, not knowing what I was going to get. And then coming back and realizing that I had so much useful footage. She's a victim of her own success, because now I'm like, hey, here's the camera here. And now with that GoPro Max lens, we haven't had a chance to play with that on the bike. But being able to have that fixed horizon is just going to bring better clips and hopefully better videos for you all to experience. All right, Knuckles TV. Well, I have a way for you to make that happen. Make sure you watch that video on the 1K giveaway. You all have till May 21st. I tried to give you enough time because I know you guys are building for your own channel, and I wanted to give you guys enough time to be able to create something if you wanted to participate. So almost an entire month to get something out there. More suspension stuff. New suspension, which means that'd be interesting because now you're going to have a Baggers and Brews submission along with a De Beard.
Are they arm wrestle for
it? That's a way to legally double dip. I didn't make a rule against that, so I like it. Big Smitty Riding says, damn, 2 Smitties in one chat. The world's going to explode. Good call. Good call. What do we have over here? So Dirty Bird air ride on both bikes. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's I've never been on a bike. I'm assuming that is probably an airbag system. I have not rode a bike like that, so that is very, very cool. And what else do we have? I'm waiting for a really good, make sure you catch me if for some reason I miss a good comment. They're all good comments, but I want to make sure. PA Biker is in the house. What's up? Yep. Thank you for coming by and joining us tonight. We've conned the wife, and we got Salty and Sprinkles coming in. So let's do this. Let's go to here. Make sure we do that. So as I said, that first 1,000 mark is a big kind of a deal. I don't know exactly how, because I'm not running speakers, and in order to hear them, you're gonna have to get close to me.
Ew.
So, yeah. Oh,
I don't know if that's gonna work.
It is going to work. We're just going to have to get cheek to cheek. Oh, it's so cute. Look, it almost makes like a little heart. See? Oh. Here we say, oh. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in, we're going to bring in Salty and Sprinkles right now, who have just also hit 1,000 subscribers. Super stoked for them. Super awesome channel. If you guys are just now getting into this motovlogger thing or looking for good content to watch, this is a unbelievable channel. I mean, I'm pretty sure that as soon as I started mine, like shortly thereafter, they started theirs, and they've gained a whole bunch of ground. 2 Indians, husband, wife. Let's bring them in right now. Salty and Sprinkles. Let me fix this like that. Hey.
What's going on?
How are you guys doing?
Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good. We're just getting settled in for the night from working, and her being the Uber and
that the Uber driver. I know they better give you a good tip.
They don't.
They don't. They give you love.
Yes.
Love is the best tip. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. And let me say right now, congratulations to you both on the success on hitting 1,000 subscribers. That's kind of what I want to kind of talk about, is maybe what you guys felt along the way. And we'll get into that. But I wanted to kind of have you guys tell us a little bit about you guys, your involvement in riding, and even how you guys met. Let's start from the get-go.
ooh, our backstory. That was actually going to be one of our contents for one of the videos, but I'll let her start off with that, how we met. She has a good story.
Do I?
The good version of it.
We actually met in high school. We worked together. And a couple months after we started dating, he moved. So this was before the internet. This was before Facebook. And I guess, what was it, 7 or 8 years ago, found each other on Facebook again. And here we are.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah. The entire, I always say this all the time, and especially for kids and then people that are, and I apologize, people are out there in the dating realm. I can't imagine how hard dating would be now compared to back in the day prior to all of this social media stuff. It would be, I would think, extremely difficult, especially if things went south, because then you can always see what everybody else is doing, and nobody likes to see that stuff. But that's very cool. So high school in Texas?
Yep.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I said I moved to Ohio when I was 16, so it was a traumatic experience for me.
Whereabouts in Ohio?
Yeah, have you ever seen Tommy Boy?
Yep.
Like 20 minutes south of where Sandusky, Ohio is.
Sandusky, Ohio. Nice. I'm sure you got a lot after that movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have family in Toledo, so I've done Ohio quite a bit. So big fan of Tony Pacos.
Yeah.
People don't know what that is.
I graduated from Bowling Green, just south of there. So.
Oh, right on. Very cool. So who rode first, and how did the whole riding thing come into play?
Well, I've been riding since I was 16. I got a bike in high school after I moved to Ohio, and been riding ever since, never stopped. And she had never been on a bike before. So when we first started talking, I was living in Tulsa. And the one thing I did, I was like, I'm going to make sure that you like riding, because that's a no-go. But yeah, I rode my Harley down to Houston from Tulsa, and we went riding, and she actually flew up, a week later? And then we rode from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, and it was like 40 degrees, raining, and like windy, horrible weather. She was on the back the whole time, didn't complain at all. So I knew she was like,
that's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win. So you were that guy with the fan when she was talking about you to the family, like, oh yeah, he rides a Harley. And they were like, oh boy. And now look at you, all up in the game. So at what point in time did you guys communicate to say, you know what, let's start? Because I know you're in a riding club, correct?
A motorcycle club. Yep.
Excuse me, motorcycle club. And at what point in time were you like, you know what, let's take this to a different level and start participating in this crazy YouTube life?
Well, it was like 5 months ago, going on 6 months, and I wanted to delete Facebook because of how horrible the world was going, all the negativity, and wanted to still be able to record our memories, promote the club, because I was on a lot of Facebook groups with the club and stuff. And I was like, well, I had a GoPro that she had bought us for our vacations, and I'm like, I got a GoPro, I have a helmet, somehow I'm going to fit this on the helmet. We're going to talk some stuff and record some things. And I literally, when I went through a bunch of videos before, I was like, I'm not doing this. And then I finally hit upload, and here it is.
There you go. Yeah, that first one is always the hardest.
Yeah.
First one, throwing yourself out there, and then you always compare it to hearing your own voice. Those that are old enough to remember an answering machine, but you'd come home and you'd hear your own voice, and you're like, oh boy, that sounds terrible. That's how I felt with some of my first videos, is just hitting upload, and you're like, ooh, I hope this is received well. But once you get that first one, it gets easier. I tell people every single time, it gets easier. And even with the wife, getting her on motovlogs more and more and more and more, it gets easier. I can't ask her the question, but I would think she would say that she agrees, because the rule, I know you guys came a little bit late, so I conned the wife into coming in and joining us today, but the rule was I cannot ask her any questions. So I have to rely on other people, you included, to ask her questions, because that's my only rule right now.
I am merely here as a hype person.
But I mean, as you guys know, I mean, the YouTube and just, it takes a lot of work, and you have to set, make sacrifices as much as you try to film. But even if you're out there filming, other people that are not filming, they're pretty much just kind of taken in the moment and they leave. You're trying to capture that moment. It takes a little bit of time. And then as you try to promote and do things like that, I couldn't do what I do without her support and, all the back end work that goes in on it. So I wanted to show appreciation and ask lots of questions.
Yeah. Yeah, for us, like, we just figured out to use the Senna for a dual vlog. So before, I'd be talking, and she'd be in the background, don't forget this, don't forget that, don't forget this. So now that she can be heard, actually, I think we have a video coming out in 2 weeks where there's some pretty dirty stuff coming out of her mouth.
I forgot.
Nice.
Now.
She can be heard now, and I'm like, I'm keeping it. I don't know how to edit anymore. It's all just straight through.
It's like a hot mic on the football field, right? Yeah, you're live. That's awesome.
But yeah, we use the Senna 10C Evo now, and try to use multiple camera angles. I'm just trying to keep it interesting. Learn every day. I think your podcasts and everything has taught us that you should be improving on every video, and that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to get
good. You literally have come, I mean, so fast in comparison, and that's just testament to the work that you're putting into it, and the fact that you are trying to learn something new and pushing it out there. You hit the 1,000 mark within a 6-month period of time. That the average on YouTube is 22 months to go from 0 to 1,000. So, as far as that, you just got to keep pushing it out. Now, how it is your motorcycle club? How is it received in your motorcycle club that you film and do stuff? Because I know there's rules.
Yeah, we won't record a meeting or anything that we have coming up. But as far as riding and stuff, it's funny because at first, because there's rules of the order and president, vice president, road captain, you have an order that you ride in. And I was like, well, I can't just ride in the front the whole time. That's boring. So I was like, I'm actually going to break a little protocol, ride in the back. And somebody actually called me out on a video. They're like, aren't you the president? Why are you in the back? I'm like, dang it. So now it's just stuff like that you got to stay compliant with, and the whole politics with clubs. But it's all for the gram, man. That's what
our chapter's family, so they don't mind it at all.
No. And
that's cool.
When I first started doing it, I thought, I was like, man, I don't know how they were going to take it, but they all really, really like it. I'm surprised. I think they're actually at a concert. A lot of them are at a concert tonight. So they're going to see Flo Rida.
Flo Rida.
Yeah.
Nice. So Knuckles TV wants to know what made y'all join the MC to begin with.
So I was working out in Life Flight in west of here, and there was a medic that rode up on a Harley. He had this patch on his back, and it was the EMS patch. And I was like, man, you guys have a motorcycle club for EMS people? And he's like, yeah, it's for first responders, healthcare workers, anybody that holds a license, and they people that are first responder trained. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And I was like, I might think about, trying that out, but there was no chapter in Houston. So me and her were riding to Austin and participating in that until we could actually gain traction in Houston. And within 6 months of riding back and forth from Austin to Houston, we actually met up a couple people, and there are president and secretary now. We've been together for what, 6 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 years. So
Wow.
and, we got other members now that have come along, but we're all like one big family. Like we go on motorcycle trips together. We stay in one big house. Go to people's graduations parties, birthday parties, like their kids stuff, and so it's like if someone of them called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, no matter what, I would get out of bed, go help them.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, that's, the motorcycle community, and then you tie in, more the camaraderie of being in that club. I mean, that's awesome. Hey, we have another guest. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That's Natalie, our 16-year-old.
This is the one that's afraid of motorcycles.
Oh, hello, Natalie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I think she was 9, and she was like, "I want to go for a ride." And we went around the block on the in the neighborhood, and I think I was going like 15, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs, like literally, like people called the cops, thought I was abducting her, and I thought she was kidding, so I gunned it. I ripped down the street, and it just ruined her forever.
So funny story. So we have a 16-year-old as well, and
16 next month.
16 next month. So I took her on a ride just over a year ago. We just had the anniversary of a year. So I'm excited to get her on the bike, and we have the Santee systems as well, not realizing that she has no idea how to control the functions of it. It was on full blast, right? And we go on this long loop to the point where I felt that I may have permanently destroyed her ears, because her ears were so jacked up that she didn't know how to turn it down, and she didn't want to be rude and say something about it.
You can't really until unless you're tapping the person.
Yeah, and exactly like how to communicate. And I didn't even think that through. So note to self, make sure they know how to do that, because she had her ears, I almost even think to this day, are a little bit more sensitive. So I kind of messed up there. But we also met 20 years ago in September.
Yeah.
Will be 20 years, right? Yeah. 20 years. Hey, I'm just making sure I don't mess up this story. It's my story. But on motor, we had a big group here in San Diego. And when I say big, I mean, and keep in mind, it was more of the sport bike stuff at that time. But we would ride on a Friday night with 100 bikes. And that was even Megan, who's also been on the live stream, was there as well. I mean, it'd be 100 bikes, same kind of thing as you were saying, as far as your phone would ring at 3 a.m. and nobody would even question about what was in it for them or why they would do it. They would just be there. And after taking 14 years off of riding and then coming back and coming back into that community, I mean, I say it all the time, the motorcycle community is the best. So have you always rode? Well, actually, before I even get into the motorcycle things, tell me the Santee and Sprinkles. There's got to be a story behind the names and how they came about.
Yeah, I can let her talk about how she got named, because it was
It rains on us every time we ride.
Not just rains, but like torrential downpour, like rooster tail out the back tire, flooding highways for like a year straight. Like when she was brand new at riding, I'm like, hey, let's go down to Galveston. It's a straight shot. Like, you're going to be all right. 10% chance of rain. And next thing you know, I mean, she's ruined phones. She's gotten like, we were actually thinking about naming the channel Soggy Boots, because that's I'm like, I'm going to ruin a GoPro. I'm going to ruin any mic that I put in my helmet. But we named her Sprinkles. But my name became Santee kind of like about the time that, I don't know, how long ago was that?
No, it's been over a year.
Yeah, it's been over a year. So I pretty much told some people how it was, kind of called some people out. I kind of do that. Like I just call it how I see it. And honest, like I'm 110% honest all the time. And people are like, man, you're just salty all the time. And I was in the military. I was in the Coast Guard. We did a lot of small boat operations. So they're like, Santee is perfect for you.
That's awesome. Now, have you always been into the Indian thing, or how did that come about? Like, what was your first bike and what? Oh,
so
okay.
I started out riding on a Yamaha R3 and quickly realized that was not for me. Leaning over is so uncomfortable. And we bike shopped probably for a year after that, trying to find something I liked that I felt comfortable with. And I couldn't find anything. And then we came home from a trip to Tail of the Dragon. and we had to take his bike in for maintenance. And I happened to see a cute little bike, and I was like, oh, I'll go sit on it. That looks like my size. And I sat down on it, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I love this. I can hold it up. It's not heavy. And he looked at it. He goes, oh, of course, it's an Indian. So yeah, that's when I got my Scout Bobber. And ever since then, apparently now everyone has Indians. So I've converted them all.
Yeah, everyone except for one person has Indians in our chapter now. So it's like an Indian. But I was riding a Kawasaki Vaquero at the time, and I really, really liked it. It had a nice tune on it. It was like sounded good. It almost sounded like a Harley, and it was just super comfortable, handled really well. And like, I don't know, how long did I hold out for? A year?
Yeah,
a year. Shocked. Like we would like pull up to the our local watering hole, or we'd go on a motorcycle event, and everyone would look and they'd be like, "Hey, when are you gonna buy a man's bike? Like your wife." So I was like, I want the Indian Challenger, and it was a brand. I don't ever buy the first year model anything until now. I bought the 2020, and I'd given it a year, and it still had a little bit of the quirks, but it's getting fixed. All the quirks are getting fixed out of it. So 2021s are solid. Like if anyone's out there listening going, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy a Challenger. Like we have 2 guys in our club that have the 2021, and they have 0 problems. And then like if I would have just waited maybe like 3 more months.
Yep.
I could have got a 2021 with 0 throttle problems.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, yeah. So I did a review on the Challenger, and it was amazing. Just what you get on the Indian platform is almost second to none. I mean, you're really getting your value for your money. Along with, I know we talked about suspension, but Indian suspension right out of the gate is so good in comparison. So, I thought it was just an amazing bike. I like the Indian bikes. I think that they are on the right track. I think where they kind of fell back for so many years, and now with the new backing, I think they're gonna do well.
I think so. And I was on Riding Fish's live stream. Both of us were Friday night, and we chatted afterwards. And like it was like 2.5 hour live stream, and then we chatted for like an hour afterwards. I know my wife was in the corner, like because we were just talking about motorcycles, like specifically off the live stream. And I got to learn like the history lesson between Victory, because I almost bought a Victory. And the day they went out of business, like I was talking to the sales guy, and he's like, "Oh, can you believe they're pulling the plug on Victories?" I'm like, and I'm pulling my cash back. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what actually I was riding Harleys at the time, and some situations happened, and I was like, I'm going to try to branch out, see what other kind of bikes are out there, because I grew up on sport bikes. Like literally, like I had my first Harley when I was 29, maybe 30. I was 30, and I'd ridden since I was 16, so I had put 77,000 miles on a Gixxer 750, and
wow.
When I got my first Harley, it was all built up and aftermarket, and it pretty much self-imploded at like 25,000 miles, like after I bought it. So I was like, that's not supposed to happen. And so 3 Harleys later, I was like, I'm looking for something different. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and that's so I also had a Gixxer 750. And I loved that bike. I absolutely. It was a phenomenal bike. It was phenomenal on the track. I mean, it's obviously not made for long distance rides, but I mean, we'd go from San Diego to Palm Springs. Would probably be our limit right there, which is, how far would that be away?
No.
But dang it! I just asked a question. That doesn't count. That does not count.
That counts. It's an early question. No more.
I didn't even think I got one. But I mean, I would say maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours from here, and on a Gixxer. But there's that bike in itself. I remember even the day that I bought it, I actually had a ZX6R at the time, pretty new, and went to the dealership, and then ended up having 2 motorcycles. I was like, oh, and then I ended up never riding the ZX6R again.
No,
but once you get on that Gixxer, to me, I never wanted to go to the Gixxer 1000 because I don't even think I actually took advantage of the entire power of a Gixxer 750, in my opinion. And I rode that thing pretty hard.
Yeah, but no, it's like the 750 that I had, it was tuned, and it had gears, and it would stand up going 120. And that's what I used to ride with guys that had 1000s, and my bike was just right there. And like, if there's a handful of guys I could outride because they couldn't ride their 1000s. So I was like, there was never, like you said, never a need to fill the 1,000 gap. Like I heard they were trying to do away with 750s. I'm like, that's horrible, horrible, horrible.
Yeah. So the entirety of the 750, I'd been on a 1,000, and I just thought to myself, man, if I'm already pushing the envelope, I'm not even pushing the envelope, the horsepower and the torque of the 750. I'm afraid of what would happen on that 1,000. And I know, like you mentioned the R3, and you mentioned, there's some other people whipping around on 600s and even less on the track that would blow me out of the water on that 750. So, a lot of it comes down to the rider in itself. So getting to your 1,000 mark, what would you guys say was maybe your biggest hurdle, headache, struggle, or thought process on when you guys started getting close?
I don't know. Like there was a point in time where I wanted to do 2 videos a week. So I thought Monday and Thursday would be good. When I first started, I didn't know when to post videos. I started doing research, but we started doing those little short videos, and like it seemed like all progress went to like just a wall, like no views. Like I'd release my Thursday video and get like no love. I was like, what is going on? Like I was like, I wonder if I got like put in as a spam account or like somebody blocked me or something. But yeah, it was like a month of that, of like 0 views, 0 like every video. I was like, oh, this video is going to be cool. It's like really good. And I put a lot of effort into it, 0 views. And then finally I was like, I'm not going to do the shorts anymore. And then literally like 2 weeks later, like you could just tell it wasn't like a rocky little algorithm anymore. It was like straight up again. So I think the shorts, I don't know if they don't play it into the algorithm as far as like the length of watch. I had one of the shorts, like it got like 7,500 views in like an hour. And I got home and I was like, what's wrong with my phone? It won't stop blinking. And, after that, it was like no more salty and sprinkles. Like it was weird. So I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
So funny. That's I literally went through the same thing. I had 2 or 3 that hit the algorithm, and I was legitimately watching. I just happened to be on my analytics and clicked on something, and I went back and I just see this spike, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I see that thing climbing and and I'm like, I've arrived.
Here we go.
Here we go. The algorithm is finally, going to pay off on this channel, and let's see where this goes. And that happened for about a couple different videos within about 72 hours, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Like 0. And I was like, oh, YouTube is never going to allow me to post another video. What did I do? Going back, re-looking at it. So I definitely feel that struggle there. So let's be honest. Let's talk about analytics between the two of you. Who's watching the analytics more?
She doesn't watch YouTube at all, and she doesn't have any of the apps. Like she actually made us a Facebook page, and she's like, hey, I made a Facebook page. Here's a log on. And she's like, and unlog. And like she logged off, and now it's my Facebook page that we both are supposed to share. But yeah, it's like she actually doesn't watch any. Like I'll show her a video, and like 10 seconds later, she's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, but the punchline's not here yet. Like, wait. So she has like a really small attention span when it comes to videos.
I do.
Yeah, and then I guess that was the appealing part of having shorts, right? Was that you didn't have to drag somebody out for a longer video. And looking at even this channel, that's one of the things that I wanted to create as far as bringing the kind of a cinematic approach, is try to change something up so that it was a different viewing experience. But you're never going to be able to hit everybody's attention span, right? No. You just have to do your best with what you got. Now, of all your videos you've done, which one would have been the one that you were like, hey, I can't believe this one is doing so well? Is there a video that you're like, hey, I didn't put as much effort in yet it's doing well, or this was just a last minute deal and look at that, it's blowing up?
A Challenger review one?
Our Challenger review did really well. Like we were in the garage, it had been raining for like a couple weeks. Like sometimes when it rains here, it rains like for weeks. So I was like, look, we have like no camera. So like, actually she exposed me because I had my iPhone on a $5 tripod on a trash can. And so she takes a picture of her. She takes a picture and posts it on Instagram. And I was like, babe, we look so trashy. I was like, you can't post it. Yeah, but that's the thing, is like we've kept our channel. Like someone messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, how did you do that? Like you hit 1,000 in 5 months. Like, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know. I videoed what we do on the weekends. I put it on a camera, put it on the old YouTube, and like I said, I didn't think anybody would follow. Like when I first got like 10 subscribers, I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like there's going to be 10 people watching what we're doing. I'm like, that is awesome. But that's always been what it's about. Like I've always said it in my videos. I'm like, engagement, talking in the channel, like the chat. That's my favorite part of YouTube, is being able to meet new people too. Actually, that was something that I didn't know was going to happen as far as meeting new people. Like we never imagined. Like she's always teasing me about bringing serial killers home to our house.
You know, it's so crazy because this is one of those things I didn't even know I was going to go down this path, but my buddy Clint from Motorcycle Monkey actually just had either he had a guest on or he's got a guest coming up, and I never heard of something like this before, but leave it to the motorcycle community, same kind of thing, and it's called Bunk a Biker. Have you ever heard of that?
Is where you travel and you can like have people stay at your place when they're traveling through?
It pretty much is. It's 100% free to bikers, right? And wherever you're traveling to, you go and you call and say, hey, I'm going to be in town. They're like, yeah, absolutely, we got a room, and it's called Bunk a Biker. I'm like, man, what a brilliant thing. But then I think to myself, with my luck, we would have a serial killer.
Yeah.
I would invite that one person that shows up on a Vespa, and there we go, no longer.
No, that's like the whole thing is I was always taught from the old graybeards about like, the respect and like, helping out bikers, and Hell's on Two Wheels. They're probably riding right now. They're going back to Florida, but they left Daytona and they messaged me. They're like, we're going to go to San Antonio. We're going to catch you on the way back. Well, they messaged me. They're like, hey, we're not going to make it to San Antonio. We're going to stay in Houston. I was like, we got like extra room. Like you can come crash here. We've only talked online a few times, but I was like, they seem kind of crazy. That seems like a fun weekend, but they ended up, his wife's a travel nurse, and they get like really good discounts at the Marriott. And they're like, well, we're not going to be in until maybe like 4 a.m. So so they ended up leaving at like 4 p.m. from Daytona and riding all night, and got there at like 10 a.m. and then hung out with us all day on Saturday. It was pretty wild. Wow. But yeah, that's always been my style, as far as just always wanting to help somebody. That's why I'm a nurse too.
Yeah. So David Thompson just said, hey, Salty, did you say you work for Lifelight? If so, do you all have a Lifelight program for motorcycle groups?
I don't know about programs. I worked for a company that's nationwide, and they have like a nationwide program that'll help pick you up and not cost you $35,000 if you crash your bike. But for as far as programs for motorcycle groups, I don't think they had anything like that, like any kind of educational stuff. But
wow. How long have you been with Lifelight?
I did it for 3 years. When I moved down here to be with her, I had to transfer to a base that was like 140 miles away. And the schedule was just crazy. You did 24-hour shifts and you got off, and like you usually flew throughout the night. And like I didn't sleep. She's got a montage of pictures of me looking like someone just shot me in the face, and I was like dead. Like she would take pictures, like selfies of me like falling asleep at family functions. I was like, I can't live like this anymore. So I had to go get like a regular job. Yeah.
To me, there's a place just east of us, about 90 minutes in Imperial County, and out there, their rule, and it's basically where all the desert is when I do any type of desert trips. I mean, it's just right there. The rule is that even if you were to dislocate your finger, they do not have a trauma center in that area, so it's an immediate Lifelight. And as you know, everybody can contest, one of those trips without the proper coverage, and you are going to have a hard time digging yourself out of that hole.
Yeah, like just to lift the helicopter up and fly you, I think it was like $24,000, and that's not with like doing kind of intervention. So like any little thing you do, like it's all reimbursed through like the insurance and stuff, and it's like a running tab. It's crazy. And but yeah, David Tom's at $65 a year. I think it's something like that, and you get nationwide coverage. So it's a pretty good thing to have, which I don't have, but I probably should.
You might know somebody who knows somebody that can take care of that.
Yeah, around Texas, I definitely do. Texas and Oklahoma, I definitely do.
So Two Wheels Down is joining us. He says, I see the wife is on. Look at that. That's right. If you guys are just joining us a little bit late, I cannot ask her any questions. It's my only rule, but you can. So if you have a question, no, I have to advertise it. You guys can ask her anything that you would like. There's been a lot more requests to have the wife be more inside the MotoVlogs. I think that we're gonna have to make that happen.
Yeah,
We're gonna
that's
have
what
to
I
do
mean. I spent like 3 weeks. I guess that's one of the most difficult ones. The problem was like we went 3 weeks with doing videos and trying to do dual vlogs with like 2 mics, a splitter, a mic adapter, and like me and her went out one night. How many times?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. We filled up her tank because she's got that 3.3 gallon tank, and I was like, and we had a big ride for the next day. I was like, well, let's just get this vlog like situated. I think I got it down. And next, like we'd come back and I would watch it, and it had like horrible popping noise. So I'd be like, babe, like we got to go again. So we'd get back on the bike and we'd go ride down the highway. 65 miles later, I'm like, we're gonna need gas again because we're not gonna make the ride tomorrow with your gas tank. And it still failed. So
yeah, that's you know, I guess it happens. I can't tell you. I know that one of the last couple I was going to do a little bit ago on these live streams and talking about just tips and tricks. You know, sometimes it's okay to come home and realize that your product it's just not going to do it. You're still going to get experience. You're going to experience filming. You're going to fix something. You're going to learn something. But I can't tell you how many times I've even completed an edit and realized, nope, this one isn't going to make it. And I start from scratch all over again. And it's frustrating, but you know, it's just part of the game. You can't knock it out of the park every single time. Wish you could.
Yeah. I actually have 2 videos right now, like in the bank. And I'm just like, and one's been on there for like what, 2 months. I rode her bike and did a review on the tires and the ride. And I just got back from it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to post that. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I think I might just delete it. Yeah.
And it happens. And sometimes you push it out there and then it does better than what you thought. Because I think that a lot of times we are our own worst critics. At least I am. That's just my personality, is that I'm always judging every little thing. Of course, you can see every single flaw. You can see everything that you don't want to see, or you don't want anybody to know that you did. And I think that makes us judgmental of the end product. But so, and I know that you and some other people that are constantly on here, like Setzer Pendants, you guys have all rode together, and obviously being in Texas. And what's the difference between, as far as time distance, between you and Setzer?
Maybe like 4 hours.
4 hours. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Actually, like when we did a sticker exchange, I think he asked me for my address, or maybe I asked him for his address. I don't know which way. Like, I'm trying to think if I should make myself sound more badass or him more badass. But it was like, why don't we just meet in the middle? It's 4 hours. So we actually, horrible weather, it's cold and rainy, and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So we rode 2.5 hours each, probably 2 hours each, and had breakfast, and had a great. It was our first time meeting in person, and had a breakfast, exchanged stickers, and it was awesome. So that was one of the things that we didn't realize was going to happen. And like, I'm a pretty good judge of character. That's one of my things she always brags about. But it's hard to read people on the internet. You don't really know like if their persona on video is true. But I usually chat with people on Instagram before I just go and decide and put my family in front of them.
Yeah, and always, I mean, you want to trust people, and you want to you want to think that people are, I guess, for the most part, are cool people.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't always work. I've been on both ends of that spectrum. I would say, I mean, most recently, I would say Adam Sandoval was probably the one that blew me away the most, as far as just being the same guy, you know, and I would have thought, you know, with that type of a following, that there would have been a little bit more of a fluff, if that makes sense, or maybe just, I don't know, maybe I just, in my mind, I wanted it to be good, and he actually exceeded that, because he's just a cool cat. He's got a good personality. And the biggest thing for me is like engaging, right? If somebody's gonna, you know, you always can tell when somebody's not necessarily listening. But yeah, you know, the engaging.
I'm gonna grab my phone and check my phone.
Yeah. So we actually have a joke. I was going to make it a contest before I did the thing. I didn't know when I was going to do this contest, but if you go back and watch our Sturgis videos, we're going to make it a contest on if somebody could give an accurate count on how many clips the wife is actually on her phone. It's pretty remarkable. I think I stopped counting at like 47.
You're editing them in though. You could choose your editing in the clips that I have on my phone.
But if you don't do it, I wouldn't have the footage to edit. It's just it's how it was.
Mhm.
That's how it was. We were thinking about making that a
He was thinking about it.
yeah. She was, yeah, like a drink. Oh man, we would be absolutely. Hey, Boosted Bagger is in the house. What is going on, buddy? Look who it is. Only rule is I can't ask her a question, but you probably know her the best out of most of us on here. So why don't you?
Megan doesn't show up.
Yeah, unless Megan show. Ooh, Megan should show up.
Yeah.
She would ask some questions. Yeah, these two, Megan and Lindsay, two peas in a pod back in the day. So what is how many kids? I know we saw one. Just one kid?
Two. Yep. Call them my kids. 13 and 16.
13 and 16. All right, so we did the reset button. We have a 16 and a 6 in the next 15 next month will be 16. I know what you're going to say, but yeah, 16 and a 6. We have a 10-year gap. So babysitter in training, which allows us to get out there and get on the bike. And has the 13-year-old participated in the back of the bike?
13-year-old, like until recently, absolutely loved being on the back of the bike. Like couldn't get her off the back. Like she loved to be on the back. And here lately, it's been dance, friends, and boys. So
she's in full-on teenage mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy.
Back talking and all the hormones, and so hopefully one day she'll be back there. Because like for a long time, she was like, I want a motorcycle when I turn 16, and you know, I had a motorcycle when I was 16, so I was all about it. But now it's like, is she gonna come back to the dark side? I don't know.
Yeah, so David Thompson's going to be up in Santa Barbara in July. We're going to try to work something out, and we'll see. We'll see if I can get the. I would ask her right now, but I'm not allowed to ask her the question, Dave. So I'll have to get back to you on that.
Maybe you should text it to me so I can look at my phone.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Everyone take a drink.
I think I have coffee or I'd be in trouble. So as far as when you're obviously the watching of YouTube, are you guys more of a TV kind of thing, YouTube kind of thing? I almost find like I find myself watching more YouTube than I do television. I have no idea why I even pay for any type of service.
For me.
That's right.
Well,
Bravo, Desperate Housewives over here.
Yeah.
But do you find yourself watching more YouTube videos now that you are in the game?
He does.
Yeah.
He watches a lot of YouTube videos.
Got to support my people.
Yep.
That's right.
I half listen.
But here lately, I find myself like I'll hit the like, and I haven't been commenting on a lot of people's videos. Like people think I probably have disappeared, but I'll watch a video and like I'll be working or I'll watch a video and kind of zone out and I'll be like, oh, that was a good video. I'll move on. So I got to get better about commenting on people's videos because I've definitely been watching them. But we used to watch TV, and here lately, she's been super busy with work and school, and so we don't really watch TV anymore. So she'll be doing like her papers or studying, and she's gonna be graduating in 2 weeks with her bachelor's. So
finally,
wow,
nice.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Nice, congratulations!
Thanks.
Wow, that's gonna free up some time for some more riding.
Yes.
A lot more time.
Right before summer, man, perfectly planned. Get the bachelor's degree, and so as far as trips, let's talk about what you guys got coming up. Are you guys making plans for the rest of the year? And maybe I know you probably have things that you maybe have hush hush right now, but what can you tell us?
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. We gotta talk.
He wanted to go to Sturgis, but totally last minute planning it. So I don't know if we're going to be able to make that happen. Yeah. But I think we're going to try to hit Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Is that what it's called?
Bikes, Blues, and Barbecues, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an art, yeah. So that's our, like we always go to the Lone Star Rally. I don't know if anybody's out there have heard of it, but it's like the biggest 4-day rally in the country. It's like it's on Galveston Island, so it's like huge. Like it feels bigger than it really is because there's like nowhere to go because there's like 2 main roads. And there's like hundreds of thousands of bikes. So while it's like one of the big, I can't remember, did they say it was the biggest 4-day rally?
I think so.
Yeah. So, but it feels bigger because I've been to Blues Bikes and Barbecue. I used to go to Sandusky Bike Week when I was up there, which is for being a northern state, Ohio has a ton of bikers, and it's really weird. Like you would think that being in the north, people would have more snowmobiles or something, but tons of people have bikes in the north, and they definitely ride all during the summer, and so that's a pretty big rally. But the Lone Star Rally is something we always get a beach house. Like we made that mistake one year when she first started riding. You want to tell them what happened that first year?
Oh, it was just car accidents everywhere. It wasn't even bike accidents. It was all the people that went down to the rally in cars and got drunk and then drove home. Yeah. So that was the last year we decided we were riding home.
Yep. So she was a new rider. So she was riding in front of me, and like there was cars, like the speed limit here is 65, but everyone goes like 85, 90. And even as a new rider, like she knew that because she grew up driving here. And there's people passing us going like 120, 130. And it was the only time I've really been scared on a bike. And it wasn't for me, it was for her. I was like, I am never doing this again, like ever again. And so we get a house down there. Like I said, my entire chapter, we all pitch in and split it. And it's not that expensive. We get to stay at like these $1 million houses for not that expensive. And we just have a good time. It's like 4 days of just like relaxing, hanging out with our family. And
yeah, I have that on our list for Bikes Blues Barbecue. So I definitely want to get out there. That's no, that's not in the Ozarks. That's Ozarks is the different one. Yeah.
Fayetteville?
Yeah, it's in Fayetteville.
So for somebody that doesn't know maybe much about where you guys are at and like the type of riding, what would be, if somebody was coming into your area, is there a specific ride that you're like, hey, you have to do this? Like, for example, out here, you got to take the 1 or the 101.
No, you just get on the highway, get in the left lane, and don't get ran over. Houston's probably the worst place I've ever lived for riding motorcycles. So as far as like, there's nothing. That's what we got, the Insta360, and I was like, do you want to turn it on and show them this skyscraper? But no, like there's not that much scenery. Like we go to the beach.
There's some cool rides up near like Yankees and the Sam Houston Forest, but it's 2 hours from us. So
north of Houston is like the Sam Houston Forest, and they say it's kind of like the Tail of the Dragon, but like obviously condensed version, and that's kind of pretty. They have a biker bar like northwest towards College Station, like where Texas A&M's at, and they have like super good burgers. And if you guys watch our channel, you know that I cannot not eat a burger and leave it. So that we always go up there. It's a nice 2.5 hour ride to there. And then we actually, on our last day coming home from the sisters, we found the best burger in the world. And it's 134 miles, I think, like 134.4.
And we're going in 5 days.
And it's supposed to rain, and we're still going to go.
Just for the burger.
Yep. We're meeting some people from Austin out there. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the place that I would say to go is north of Houston. And riding Fish asked if there's going to be room for him, and absolutely. I have to get my Lloyd's tuned before he comes down here, though.
Yeah. So now, you guys being foodies, their slogan is kind of foodies with a motorcycle problem. But you obviously traveling around now. Have you gone to like Louisiana and all those other different places? Like, where is if you could go to one place besides the burger joint, that specific burger joint, where would be the place you go to be like, hey, this is the best food that you have ridden to?
The best food that we have ridden to. What do you think? Louisiana?
For me, yeah, Louisiana, Cajun food.
We went to Steamboat Bill's.
Bill's, which I think they got hit really hard with the hurricanes last summer. But I think they're about to reopen, and our chapter's been talking about how we're going to make a day trip out there for those red beans and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, my 40th, the wife took me on a cruise that went out of
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. And we went into New Orleans the night before and stayed on Bourbon Street and pretty much walked Bourbon Street, and then had some of the best food.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would blow up like a balloon if I lived there.
Yeah.
Because I have a terrible metabolism. So I enjoy food, and that's why right now I'm punishing myself for the next like 3 weeks. I got to punish myself. I'm going to have a weekend off, and then I'm going to punish myself till about, I think, close to Sturgis. And then I get a chance to have fun gaining the weight back. That's the fun for me. Is I almost do this every year, but gaining back the weight usually takes about 6 months, but it's a hell of a time. It's probably not healthy, but it's a hell of a time.
As long as you maintain it and you can do the whole roller coaster thing.
Yeah.
It's all about choices and having fun, though.
That's true. So we have to play. Now, this is going to be a different type, but we do have to play around the horn. But around the horn in itself is going to be times 2.
Yeah.
I should make it times 3. But yeah, we'll play around the horn. So we're going to go Sprinkles. Your answers will go first. Salty, you're going to go second. For everybody that's just joining us, aren't familiar with Around the Horn, we ask our guests on this show. Every single guest gets the same 4 questions, and they've gone in all sorts of different directions, and it's been a lot of fun. So question number 1, Sprinkles, you are going to go on a motorcycle trip to Sturgis, and you'll be leaving from Texas. You get to ride one motorcycle that you don't currently own, and I get to throw a little caveat. He can't own it either. Okay. So what motorcycle are you riding to Sturgis?
Probably the Springfield.
All right, going with the Springfield. All right, so Salty, your answer for the same question.
She cheated off me, looked at my answer before the test because I was riding Springfield Dark Horse.
Okay. All right.
I've ridden all the Harleys and I've ridden the Japanese bikes, and I was actually, when I got my Challenger, it was like that bike or the Springfield Dark Horse, and I just had to go with the liquid cooled because that's what I was used to.
Gotcha. All right, Sprinkles. So you're on your trip to Sturgis, and you get to bring one person with you on this trip that is no longer with us. Who is it? And it can be anybody.
It can be a superstar, someone idolized.
I don't know.
Not familiar with I don't know.
God, so hard. Honestly, it's going to sound funny, but probably my grandmother who used to ride motorcycles back in the day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Salty, who's going with you?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
I'm not going with
that. No, you're already there.
No, I'm going to be wearing a little coat.
Yeah, I'm not
going.
Oh, can you imagine me and Chris Farley together?
Dude. Oh my! Could you imagine the amount of hits your YouTube channel would get if you had you and Chris Farley going to Sturgis? What kind of bike is Chris Farley on, by the way?
Chris Farley.
What are you going to put him on? You get to put him on anything. It's your dream.
Man. I don't know. It'd be funny to say a Grom, but
I was going to say a scooter.
A scooter. Put him on a moped. No, I would. No, I'd want him to be comfortable, and I could see him being on a Challenger. That'd be cool.
Nice. All right. So you, Sprinkles, you're in Sturgis. You're with your grandmother. What are you guys drinking?
I don't drink that much anymore.
Yeah, me either.
Punches.
What is it?
A rum punch.
A rum punch. All
Clearly
right. So
missing the beach right now.
So you guys are both having the rum punch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Salty?
Coors Banquet.
Coors Banquet with Chris Farley.
Can you imagine? This trip would be epic.
That's a good one. All right, Sprinkles. Final question for Round the Horn. You get to ask your grandmother one question that she's got to answer. What's that question going to be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. And I have to come up with an answer.
Yeah, you should. You see this way. You have to watch some of the YouTube videos so you know what's coming on.
I probably would have been more prepared if I had. How did she live with my mom growing up?
Ooh. Ooh, I didn't say that.
Hey, I was just say, and Salty says, same question. Just kidding. I don't want to start anything. All right, so Salty, you get to ask Chris Farley one question. While you guys are sipping a Coors Banquet beer, what do you got?
Man, well, Chris Farley I'd have to ask him if Sandusky, Ohio was as bad as it was for me as it is for him.
He's like, I don't know. I filmed it in Hollywood. How do I know it's Sandusky?
Probably. But yeah, I mean, I would probably probably ask him something along the lines of that because I don't know if they filmed it there or not.
Yeah. All right. So that is Around the Horn with Salty and Sprinkles. Again, everybody gets asked the exact same questions, and it's really interesting to see, just what people would want to do. I mean, the Chris Farley thing, I did not see coming, but that would be phenomenal. That's something that's a trip I would want to be on. That's a trip I'd want to film. That is for sure.
For sure.
So now you're trying to get out and film how many times a week right now?
I'm kind of like got this weird thing that I want like 3 or 4 like videos in the bank in case, bad weather happens, or, we got the kids and dance and they got those hectic schedules, and we ride a lot. But like I was telling on the last live stream, like we film maybe 1% of the time we actually ride. So I think that's one of the hardest parts about YouTube is actually remembering to hit the start button on the old camera and actually have like a vision for the day. Cause I feel like the days that we were like, hey, we're riding today, we should film. All right, let's do this. And you just like kind of seat of the pants. I feel like those are the videos where I'm like, I don't know about that. So like when we actually talk about it, like what we're going to film and what we're going to talk about, and they actually come out a little bit better organized and, more thought out as far as, hey, we're going to be here. Let's film this, or, hey, we're going to be here. Let's take pictures of this. And so.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I've said that for a long time, is that having just even bullet points of what you want to do, maybe just a couple of establishing shots and what you're going to discuss, even have something as minuscule. I mean, I take notes on my iPhone just to make sure that I'm like, all right, let's just cover this. And then I not only notice that the filming goes better, but the editing process in itself goes better. Yeah. And then that leads to less headaches that she's got to deal with.
Yeah. Big Smitty Riding just said, I took enough video of us Saturday. I got you covered. That dude's a awesome guy. He's another guy we met on the old interwebs. He's got a YouTube channel, and that's what she was like, you're a good judge of character. And he's like, no, he's not, because I'm here.
This was for which ride? This is the one you guys just did?
Yeah, Saturday we went to a veterans benefit that was for casualties of war. It was an all-you-can-eat crawfish boil. And so like veterans and first responders get in for free. Like she paid $20 and all the proceeds went to the casualties of war. But he rode up with us from South Houston up to North Conroe. So it was like an hour ride. And I made the mistake of like going, man, I was like, I forgot to ask him like how he rode. Like there's some people that want a death wish in Houston and go the speed limit because you're on a motorcycle, you got to be safe. But like, it's actually more dangerous. Like people will purposefully buzz you, cut you off. Like it's like the worst place I've ridden in the world. But like we get to Conroe and I was doing my thing as far as 80 in the middle left lane. And I got there and I was like, hey, hopefully that ride wasn't too bad for you. I was like, I forgot to ask if you like, went above the speed limit a little bit. He's like, hell no. He's like, y'all ride great. Like we should have gone faster. I'm like, my dude, like we're going to ride again. Cause in Houston, you got to fly. And I actually talked to a HPD, a Houston police officer that rode. He's a police officer that rides. And he was like, yo, if you ever see us riding on the street, like, we're on our police bikes, we're always in the left lane, we're always going at least 90. It's because people will run you over in Houston. Like they'll rear end you on the highway. And I've always ridden like that. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Uh-oh. Mushroom burger for the win.
Yeah, Big Smitty, that was his meal at a crawfish boil.
He's on a plant-based because he's getting that super healthy. He's on a weight loss journey and he's doing a badass at it. And he was actually good about it. He was like, I'm going to go get me a burger, but they didn't have anything comparatively. So it was like a Aola burger with mushroom. I don't know. He sounds good.
Yeah. I'm telling you, diets suck. That's all there is to it. They're not fun. I don't care. You're like, oh, you just feel so great. Yeah, maybe I feel great, but I want a burger like right now. Or crawfish, for that matter. I'm in all the way around.
After we actually ate so much crawfish on Saturday, we went with Hells on 2 wheels. We rode like south of the city, and there was a crawfish truck set up, and I smelt it, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. Not 2 days in a row.
There was what question I was just going to ask him? It was something about riding and the area. So if you guys want to go for like a scenic ride, do you actually have to go out of your way like to go for a scenic ride right now?
The one south of the city isn't too bad.
Yeah, like it's 20 minutes of like city riding. Like we're 4 lanes with a 5th lane median. we got about 20 minutes of that, and then we can get into the country, and we have some 2-lane country cruising, and it's like a 45-minute ride to one of our favorite little biker bars out in southwest Houston. And it's like you don't even feel like you're in Houston, but you can ride like 20 minutes up the road and you can get like the 16-lane highways. So
wow,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so Boosted Bagger says his bike cruises at 90. I'm going to call him out on that because, well, it might cruise at 90 for about 4 miles, and then he's out of gas because that turbo just sucks everything out of it.
Yeah,
I will tell you that bike, a turbo on the Road Glide, even with just starting that thing up, you want to talk about getting some attention. That thing sounds just unbelievable. If you guys aren't checking out Boosted Bagger, you guys should go check out his channel and just listen to that thing purr because it's mean. It gets crappy gas mileage, and we did the saddle sore together, and it was almost a good thing, but we had to stop every 100 miles because his gas tank was running low.
That's crazy. Her bike goes about 140 until the gas light comes on, and she's got that 3.3 gallon tank. So even then, I'm like, you need a Springfield. Let's do this. But yeah, Setzer Pendants was always giving me shit. He's like, hey, what? Every time he commented on my video, he was like, what are you going to talk about now? How bad traffic sucks? And I'm like, or how bad Houston drivers are. He came over and rode for 10 minutes. I almost got hit by a lady. Like, people were cutting us off. Like, this lady like merged into us. And like, I saw it happen the whole time. So I was like, just kind of going with her in the lane. And I even like waved at her, and she was on her phone. She looks up and she's like, and just keeps on like almost hitting me. So Setzer Pendants, like, none of us were filming either. Like, we're like fucking YouTube videos. And like, he like swerves in front of her and does the, what are you doing? Get off the phone. But like, we stop, and I was like, I told you. Like, I told you. Houston drivers are probably the worst in the country. And he's like, you ain't joking, man. He's like, they literally breed them here, send them out to the country.
So it's all your guys' fault in Houston.
Probably.
Oh, that's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever drove any vehicle through Houston, so I wouldn't know, but it's good to know now. And it's also one of those things. I mean, you talk about good footage, you just go out, just keep the GoPro rolling. I always find myself missing the best moments. I'll give you an example. Boosted Bagger, we were on the saddle sore. I mean, 1,000 miles in a day, you're bound to see something that is going to be, lack of a better term, entertaining. But motorcyclist's worst nightmare. We're in the fast lane, and a ladder comes out of a truck in front of a vehicle that swerves out, and we have to split apart. None of us were recording. That I know of. I don't know, Boosted, if you got that on video or not, but I know I didn't. I was so bummed because it's one of those things where those types of things happen. So being around crappy drivers all day long, you could have yourself a little montage of crappy drivers.
Yeah. I mean, I actually have a video thumbnail of me shooting the bird with the little middle finger happy face. And because this dude like literally almost ran us over, and we were in the fast lane going like 85, and he literally ran up on us where I saw the front end go. I'm like, that's just insane. So he got the old salute.
So we have so Bikes Blues Barbecues is going to be your event now. Is Sturgis already off the table? You're not even going to think about it, or is this still something that we can persuade you to do?
I don't know. Like I said, we've looked at a couple places, and they're still open to because we like look at, what is it, Grand Rapids, or what is it, Cedar Rapids? What is it called?
Rapid City.
Rapid City. Yep.
There's some places there that are still open for rent. But my big thing is I just started a new job like literally a month ago.
Yeah.
I got a promotion to be a manager. And I was like talking to my boss. I'm like, all right, hear me out. I started this conversation. Hear me out. He was like, okay, what's up? And I was like, we always do a big trip for our anniversary. We like go every July, we go to a new beach, like Aruba, St. Thomas, Dominican. We've been to Mexico. And I was like, this year, because we don't want to get stuck out of the country and we don't want to travel and I have to deal with all that COVID crap, I was like, we're thinking about taking a big motorcycle trip. And she's like, oh my God, it sounds so much fun. And I was like, but I'm going to be gone for like 2 weeks. And she's like, that's fine. And I was like, but I've only been working here for like 5 months at that time. She's like, it's okay. So I'm like, damn it, I can't even use my boss as an excuse. So it's just one of the things we have to figure it out, the planning, the logistics, because it's going to take, like, she's going to ride her own, and she,
I'm not doing it in 2 days.
I was like,
right.
It's like 1,500 miles.
Yeah, get your bun burner certificate right there. Yeah, we've done a lot of traveling. Been fortunate to do a lot of traveling. We love the Dominican. We're actually going back next year, so we'll be missing Sturgis next year because every 5 years we go down to the DR. Probably one of our favorite places to go, I would say. I'm a big cruiser. Like, I love going on cruises. But she likes cruises too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't ask
That
the
wasn't
question.
a question.
I know.
Ask her how she likes cruises.
I won't get on one.
Have you ever been on one?
Nope, and that won't happen.
She got seasick kayaking on a bottomless kayak at nighttime. Like literally, so we were like at the halfway point where we're gonna go look at all the cool stuff, and she's like, I have to go back in. And I was like, we had a 2-person kayak, and I was like, what do you mean you have to go back in? She's like, I'm gonna throw up. I feel dizzy. And I was like, we're on a kayak. And she was like, I don't know. I just feel super sick. Shh. And so yeah, I had to paddle both of us back to shore. And she got. There's another time you got seasick, right? When you were on a boat.
Snorkeling.
Is that a thing?
It is.
Is that possible?
Yes, it was rough waves, and yeah.
All right. So
There's no one on a boat that just rocks the entire time.
With the explanation, I could see that cruising is probably not for you.
Yeah.
But for me, it's for a health reason. I actually went to New Orleans on a cruise. My parents paid for my. They took me on a cruise when I graduated college. So we went to New Orleans for like 3 days before the cruise. So we obviously drank and ate for 3 days. And we went on a 7-day cruise and then came back. I got a physical when I got when I graduated college, I got my first nursing job. And like my blood pressure was elevated. My heart rate was elevated. They're like, you like have really bad vitals for someone that's in super good shape. And I was like, I'm detoxing right now. And they're like, did you like study for your drug test? And I was like, it's not that, it's food. I have a problem with food. But I gained like 15 pounds in like 9 days. And I just kept going to the ice cream machine. I couldn't stop.
Yeah. What? Yeah. This is the reason why I have to do the diet, because I blame my parents. I want my parents to know that I blame them for this, because as a kid, I always wanted to be out and play, right? And then they would call you in for dinner, and then the very next sentence would be, you can't go out and play until you finish all your food.
Yep.
Not a problem. And I'm back out. To this day, I do not know how to have food that's in front of me. And she does this to me all the time. She knows. I could be completely full, and she's the kind of person where she's full, she doesn't want to even have it in front of her anymore. So what she does is she puts it in front of me.
And then you finish it.
Oh, I have to.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it and then I almost have like PTSD where I can't go back out and play unless I finish all the food, to the point where she's now got the kids in on it, and it's terrible.
Yeah, we're basically the witch from Hansel and Gretel.
Yes. Yeah. No, not you. It's you are the witch from Hansel and Gretel.
I might just be a witch.
Yeah.
No, we'll plan. We'll meal plan, and she'll make like, a food for a family of 8. And you'll have some lunches for the next 2 days. And like, we'll get dinner. And I'm like, where's the leftovers at? And she's like, you ate them all. There's no more lunches
with pasta. He goes back.
Okay. You want to talk about pasta? Time out. Time. Because I have a terrible metabolism. She was blessed with a good one. The only human being I know of for 20 years could eat a pound of pasta every single day and not gain a single pound.
I do not have that metabolism anymore.
I can look at her eating pasta and I jump on the scale and I'm gaining weight. I might not even touch it. So I figure I might as well just partake. But to the point where, even so bad, I don't know how it was for you, since we can we're on the same page, but I gained so much sympathy weight during her pregnancy that I'm still trying to burn it off 16 years later. She would make pasta and come home with See's candy bars. And I'm not talking about the little tiny See's bars, because that would make too much sense. No, these huge, and like boxes of, that was what she wanted, was See's candy bars. And I'm not going to let them go to waste. And of course,
so you're eating a pregnant woman's food. You just admitted everything.
Yes. Yes, but I now sacrifice where 90 days after birth, she's back to nothing, and now I am 16 years later, and I still have something going on in my midsection that won't go away. I think it's a problem.
Yeah. I've been telling her, I was like, I need to get back in the gym and I need to start lifting weights and doing some more activity because I sit at a desk a lot more lately. And I can already, like, every day I look down, I'm like, that pinch is getting a little bit bigger. I'm like, I'm not used to that. That's not a thing for me. So getting older, metabolism slowing down, activity slowing down.
Anybody else do the whole, like, when you're riding, your riding position test? Like if the jeans are a little bit more snug than they were like the week, then I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. They need to make, what are those things called? Those stretchy pants for bikers that aren't, you can just let your belt out after you get, because that's what we always ride. And we always do it to ourselves. Every time we ride to go eat somewhere, like, I mean, I do it. I stuff myself to where I'm like miserable, borderline puking. And then we always have like an hour to 2 hour ride home. So then you're just like miserable and it's hot outside. And so we always do it every time. I'm like, that's what we need. We need like the Spanx. Was that what they're called? Like hold your belly in?
No.
On a full stomach.
Biker Spanx.
Hey, why not? It'd be like the pump fake we could now deliver. You know what I'm talking. Don't look at me like that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, you're like, dang, look how fit that dude is. He's probably got a 6-pack. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to take off the Spanx and show you exactly what I'm dealing with.
The dad bod.
The dad bod. Exactly. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much. I want to thank Santee and Sprinkles. I want to give them a big congratulations for hitting 1K and coming on and just hanging with us tonight. If you guys are not subscribed to them, please go and do it now. If you're watching the replay, I will throw the link down in the description so you can go right to their page. Awesome content, guys. Congratulations. Thank you to the wife.
Thanks. I think he said congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you to the wife for coming on. Yeah. I tell you what, we gotta keep this going, right? Because we're like twinsies now on the YouTube. So we're just gonna keep doing the building blocks, right? We're gonna hit that 5,000, that 10,000, just keep going from there. Who knows? Sky's the limit. But hopefully you guys are all enjoying the content. Santee and Sprinkles, thank you guys so much. Enjoy your guys' evening. Please ride safe out there and avoid the rain, sprinkles, or something. I don't know how you do it.
It's only a 10% chance.
The 10% chance.
60% of the time, it happens every time.
There's a 10% chance of 100% chance it's going to rain.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, thank you guys, and congratulations to you guys too. Like I said, I saw that come over on Saturday, and I'm like, dude, we could hit it on the same day. That's awesome. And then the very next day, you're like, you should come on our channel. I'm like, that's crazy, because I literally just saw you guys hit 1,000. Yeah,
very perfect timing. Like I said, we're twinsies, so continue doing what you guys are doing. It's great content. Love seeing all that stuff, especially the perspective, the Indian motorcycles, you guys talking about it. Got a good flow. And yeah, we hopefully can have you guys back on the show again. And I'm going to keep working on you guys on getting to Sturgis. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, but I'm going to work on it. Yeah.
I got the approval from everybody. The boss, like all the bosses approved. Just got to
we just got to figure out the plan, I guess.
The days, the logistics. We're thinking about going the week, like getting there Thursday before it starts, I guess. And then going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leave Tuesday.
Perfect. Yeah, so we get in on Wednesday before it starts, just so we can take advantage of the before it starts, because you definitely want to try to do some of those routes before the shenanigans, because it just gets really, really crowded. But if you can get there on a Thursday, I mean, obviously we'll be in touch, but yeah, it would be great to meet up with you guys out there. And I don't know, we'll get a collaboration video and go eat some really good food.
Yeah, because it sounds like we're like long lost brothers from another belly food.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, you guys, thank you so much again. Everybody, Santee and Sprinkles, go check out their channel, and we will catch you guys next week for another MotoVlogger Monday. Don't forget, the contest has already started till May 21st, 2021. If you haven't checked it out already, after you're done with this live stream, go over and check out the 1K giveaway. I'm excited to see what you guys are bringing to the plate. Wife, thank you so much. And we'll catch you guys next time.